What I envision is that after some decades, I imagine my kids just using Bitcoin, and for them it's just super trivial. There is going to be one day where there's going to be Bitcoin businesses only. There are going to be meme marketers only for Bitcoin. And this is happening right now. Hyper-Bitcoinization is going to happen. We don't know how and when, but in a way, it's inevitable, and hopefully it's going to be a peaceful process. I love music, I love what I do in my life, but this is something that is not going to happen again. This is an occasion you only see one in a lifetime, and maybe zero. Bitcoin maximalism is minimalism. It's just like focusing on only one thing.
I have the pleasure of sitting here with Mir, my friend. So good to be here with you. I was just looking at your Twitter feed, seeing how gorgeously you sing. I can't believe I missed it last night. You were doing Hallelujah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gorgeous.
Thank you.
Everyone should go to the feed and just check out the videos from last night.
You know, we have a life before Bitcoin, and when I quit my singing career, I thought I was over. I was happy to dedicate myself to Bitcoin, but once again, Bitcoin surprised me, and now I can sing every time.
At Bitcoin,
yeah, and Bitcoin altogether. So life rewarded me the same, and now I have the occasion to sing with friends, and I have so much fun.
The best fun.
I mean, in the past, I didn't like to do that because it was my job. But right now, I'm surrounded by Bitcoiner. I'm out of shape singing.
Yeah.
But it's so beautiful. And so once again, thank you, Bitcoin, even for that.
And when you do what you love, it comes from the heart. It's so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So who cares about, whether you're the best? You're just like having fun, enjoying.
I learned that. I didn't think it was possible until I realized that when there is this energy along with your friends, there's something even in heart, magic happens that is way better than when you are so focused on doing everything perfectly.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
I drive myself crazy with the perfect thing. It's so annoying. And that's why I'm like enjoying what we're doing now and what I'm doing here in the conference, because this is not perfect. Because, I contacted you to ask for your help to do this podcast like in a professional way, with photographers, with the lighting, with the venue. I want to do everything perfect. But sometimes it just gets too much.
Yes.
Too tiring.
It is.
Too much hard work. And you want things to just be flowing and easy and graceful and fun. And
I completely agree.
Sometimes we get too carried away with making everything perfect.
Yeah. So nowadays, we are used to see these contents. Everything is about the form. And everything should be really perfect and beautiful. And we don't care about the real content so much as we used to. And also everything is so fast and should be at that pace.
A YouTube format,
Exactly.
The captions and the thingy and it's all like the lighting and the angles and it's a bit tiring. Because you feel like you work for the technology rather than the technology working for you, right?
Yes. And it's getting faster and faster and faster. And the contents are being created to get your attention in any possible way, with fonts, with bright colors and whatever. And it's just like, feels as users from time to time, it's starting to bother me because I want essence, I want content, I want real and raw conversation. So I think that this is really nice to see as somebody consuming content. I'm going to see some switch soon, because when you reach, the peak of something, then the valley is going to, Valley.
So that's a good place to then take a step back and ask you to introduce yourself to my audience so that they know who you are. And like your background, what brought you to what you do today and where you are today?
Cool. So, I don't know where to start because I think plenty of Bitcoiners have so many different lives before and after and during Bitcoin. But I love to explain myself as a kid who really loved two things in their life. One was singing, and I thought someday I'm going to be a pop star. And the other one was, someday I'm going to be a hacker.
Really?
And yes, it's interesting. Both jobs are doing during the night. So I could even have both, but one at least should be during the day and one during the night. But I didn't realize at the time. And those crazy dreams kind of materialized in my life. And so during the first part of my life before Bitcoin, I focused on music and singing and teaching music. And so I was doing that as my main job. And then Bitcoin was just very close to me with Giacomo. And so one...
Giacomo is your husband?
Yeah, Giacomo is my husband. Everybody knows Giacomo, of course. And so...
He's a rock star. If you don't know him, you should.
Giacomo Zucco. And yes, we've been knowing each other since 2001, so it's a long time. And we were just discussing about Bitcoin, and I thought, yeah, interesting. I thought super interesting about this, something related to him. And I told Giacomo, you should quit your job and do this. And I was doing my PhD, so yeah, that's okay. And while I was in New York for doing my research, then I met people that were developing Bitcoin, fell in love. I see the faces, their passion, what they were doing, and I had, now it's my time to quit everything. I love music, I love what I do in my life, but this is something that is not going to happen again. This is an occasion you only see one in a lifetime and maybe zero. And I felt like I'm going to help these people. I don't know how. I don't care how I can contribute, but I want to stay here and see and witness this from the first row. And yes, basically, I've studied Bitcoin. It was 10 years ago. I started studying Bitcoin during the night because my background is in communication, linguistics. I have a degree in linguistics and another degree in musicology. So it was very far away. But of course, I had that dream about being a hacker. And Bitcoin for me was, if I cannot be an hacker, maybe it's too late, I don't know, but I can be just alongside with hackers. It's my occasion, finally. So I studied everything about technology. I even coded something in Python, was my occasions. And
you learned how to code? You taught yourself how to code?
Yeah, very easy stuff. I mean, I can do very basic stuff, but it was also to understand the mindset of the people I was working with, to understand more and just to look at the code.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everything is open source.
Yes.
Can I verify at least? If I cannot write code, of course, I'm not that proficient, but can I check a little bit? So that was my goal.
Nice.
And so, yes, and from that moment on, I try to help whatever I can. First with the blockchain lab in Milan. Me and Giacomo were the co-founder of this giant, at that time was pretty giant, research center in Milan.
What is it called?
A blockchain lab.
Blockchain lab.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so...
that started when?
2014.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 2014, 15.
Yes.
Yeah, it was previously called FinTech Lab or something, but the years are the same, and it grew. It was kind of big. Also, I organized the Bitcoin Milan meetup. It was the biggest meetup in Europe for sure. We have so many amazing people coming from all over the world. And it was big at the time. We had 100 and more people for Antonopoulos, for example. So it was organized every month. It was huge.
Amazing.
And so... yeah, I've done many things, helping people, connecting projects, and organizing, bringing pizza to people developing cool stuff.
You're the Voice is brought to you by Trezor, the original Bitcoin hardware wallet company pioneering the development of self-custody for crypto assets since 2013, empowering individuals with an open source device, enabling beginners and experts to easily and securely hold their coins. I find my Trezor super easy to use and recommend it to my friends and family. Enjoy my 5% discount on Trezor products by clicking the link in the show notes and using the code FLAT.
In our laboratory, we have seen and witnessing amazing things.
Amazing. Developed there.
Yeah, developed there. One we are very proud of is just, now it's called Bolt, but the Bolt protocol, but previously was called the Milan protocol. So all the people developing Lightning They were all together in our office discussing where we can find the common specifications. So we are not reinventing the wheels, and they were just collaborating. And from that moment on, there were common specification. And that, for example, happened
in your...
Yeah. Another thing is Open Timestamps by Peter Todd. It happened there between Peter and Riccardo Casata, who is an Italian developer. So we got very lucky to see those things in front of us. And so, yeah, we have so many sweet memories of those years. And then we decided it was time to focus more on family. Me and Giacomo had 2 kids, so we went freelance. And nowadays, since we like to complicate our life again, there is something very similar to our previous project, but it's bigger, it's globally, which is Plan B Network. I am very close to be involved too, but it's really an amazing project and very ambitious.
Tell us a bit about the project.
Yeah. So Plan B Network right now, you can go to the website. I'm shilling it, but I can't shill in it because it's basically everything is free. You go there, planb.network is a platform, everything is on the website, and you can have access to the best Bitcoin contents, tutorials, courses in more than 15 languages. Everything is translated and it's for free. I love the part of tutorials. So for example, we have selected the best tutorials, BTC Sessions 1, for example, but we also dubbed in other languages. So it's so easy. We try to remove many barriers. So in a way, we are centralizing the good contents, but also translating, also to give the user a sort of a guide. You start from here.
Good, a journey. Yeah,
exactly.
Good.
Exactly. We want to be a sort of a compass. We don't want to make feel people that we are an authority trying to use. But in a way, otherwise there are plenty of content. You don't know where to start, how to move further. You want to personalize your journey, but also, that's 101. And then there is this one and this one and this one. You can look at this and you can personalize your journey, and everything is for free. It's a gigantic effort. We have a team right now, 15 people working basically on the website to keep updated, and the design and the data, the translation. So it's super, super big. And it's growing. Every day is growing even more. And of course, we are also a company, so we have in real life courses. Those are not for free, but they are beautiful.
Physical courses.
Yes. We have I think the most interesting so far, there's been the school we had in Lugano this summer, the business school. So it was about giving lessons to people who want to learn about how to be employable in the Bitcoin space. And one of our goals was just not only give knowledge to people, but also to put in contact companies and people. So there were 21 people participating in the school. And right now,
what a nice number.
Yes, of course. And right now, I heard from Giacomo before, not sure if it's the exact number, but 13 has been already employed in companies. So it's a giant success. People participating, they find the right match for themselves, and now they have a job.
Is it developers?
No, it was for people, business people. It was a business school. There is the tech school that is about to start. Is that if you are a tech guy, a dev, and you want to have Bitcoin skill, you're going to develop through the course. But this one is just, I'm a marketer.
Sales.
Business developer. Yeah, I'm a designer. What can I do for Bitcoin? I want to be. And so there are the program with the teachers. And so there was a part online during the month, and the last part was physically in Lugano for 1 week. They had a lot of fun, of course, and it was amazing to see them and knowing each other. So it was really beautiful. And so basically the main product, we can say that, is just business school, and right now the tech school, and very different target, of course.
Is it in English or?
Yeah, completely
it's in English.
Yeah. It's,
and anyone can apply?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Amazing.
I think that's the 21 were kind of selected in the end, because to get physically there. And also for the companies, you get the best
talent.
Yeah, best talent. And there were people coming from all over the world. There were people from Taiwan, people from El Salvador, people from can you imagine, from all over the world.
How often do you have cycles?
So I think it's one every year.
Every year.
Yes, the tech school is one every year, and the business school one every year. So.
And how long is the program?
I think that's it's 3 months before online, 3-4 months online, and then 1 week physically. Not sure about the test school is going to start soon, but the idea is that.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
When is the next round starting?
I think it's going to be on spring for the business school. Tech school is about to start with the online. And I think physically it's going to end up in San Salvador, not in Lugano.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's good. But I'm just
cool.
very new to the team. I don't want to say anything.
Okay.
You want to check on the
everything
website.
on the website. Yes.
Because I overheard everything. I'm very interested, and I wish I want to apply it to the tech school because of that dream of mine.
Being a hacker, maybe it's not
maybe it's my occasion once again. I would love to. I have this image of me coding with a hoodie. It's so fascinating. I don't know.
I can envision you sitting there with a
hoodie.
at night.
I also have 2 kids. Yeah, exactly. I mean, my life is very different.
Working.
Yeah. Yes, maybe. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great occasion, and I love the idea to put together people. Because, it's very difficult, it's still very difficult after years, that there are plenty of people that want to be employed in the Bitcoin space. There are plenty of people they want to hire, but they don't match each other. And I think the main problem is that the description of the job role, the job title is very corporate-like still.
It's from Fiat Life.
Yeah, from Fiat Life, and people don't resemble to that job title. They don't apply. So, for example, a girl yesterday told me that there was an announcement for Plan B Network searching for a translator, but they also asked other things. I didn't have the requirements fully.
So she didn't apply.
She didn't apply, but she went to the school. And then the match happened, and now she's working as a translator for Plan B Network, because they finally understood that there was a perfect match between each other, but the job role title wasn't perfect for her. And also we are changing everything with Bitcoin. Also, the business is changing. We don't care so much about, degrees or background or those things. We care about experience. We care more, probably it's better if you are familiar with memes, Bitcoin memes, than having 2 degrees. It's more important that you understand the ecosystem, you understand the community, than having, because we are smart people. We are learners. We learn all the time. So we don't care about that so much. We want to see that if somebody is open to learn, is following that. So it's a struggle. It's a struggle to match hiring and people looking for jobs. So still, it won't be in the future, but we are in that phase again.
Just, take inspiration and go ahead and go for what you want.
But, I have confidence now, but it took me years and years and years. I have to really work on that, and I'm still working every day. It's not something that people love to share, because we want to
be humble.
Yeah, be humble. On the other side, super confident that no, I struggle every day. I have to motivate myself. Some things are now my second skin, but other things I have to work on that, and it's okay.
Yeah.
But we have to fight, because we have so many things in the background of our minds, our habits, limiting beliefs, and it's just not like buzzword. That's reality.
Oh, for sure.
But I think Bitcoin, it's amazing in that. Bitcoin as an ecosystem, because if we are changing a lot of incentive in the job role and the job title and whatever, so nobody is expert. So anybody can be good for that job. It's even easier, because no expert around, no people that are better than others. We are all trying to understand what is going on, how to fill that role. And of course, there is this problem with women again. But at the same time, it's we have to understand how to write something new, just like a job title, new job title. The name of job title doesn't apply anymore for Bitcoiner. Even the easiest one, yeah, social media manager could work, but it's not exactly like that. It's just you're doing so many other things. It's very reductive, right? And so it's very difficult to hire somebody because you want a person that is also able to understand Bitcoin, the community. You want to understand deeply those topics while you're doing your job and using your skill so well. You have to have both sides very strong. So it's difficult to find people like that, but it's plenty of talent because maybe it's not something that I'm supposed to say, but I think that people that came to Bitcoin quite early, we are still very early, special people because they are people that had to unlearn many things. They are people already open. They are self-learner. They are people that can think with a big picture mindset, able to change, able to. So there are plenty of already skills that we already selected. Being just a Bitcoiner. It won't be, of course, there are people that just bought some Bitcoins because they were playing online in 2011 and now they are rich crypto bros in Dubai. And of course, but people, I'm telling about you, people are coming here, the conference, always wanting to learn more, always to put themselves in the position of being learning, those people are already, they have so many skills. They are artists, there are musicians, there are people great at marketing, there are people great communicators, and there are builders, architects. And whenever I speak to those persons, I just learn that they have their normal jobs and they are so good at those jobs. So there's an opportunity here because there are plenty of talents already in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
We have to talk about less about Bitcoin and more about other things that we are doing in our life.
I agree.
It's even more interesting and see the connection and how can help each other, help the projects, because it would be easier. Yeah, yesterday we just like discussing with an architect, can you do next time a stage design for the Rockamoto?
Yeah, perfect.
Good idea.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that, magic.
Very good. Yes, I saw that you were talking at the Plan B, how do you call it, the Plan B Hub?
Yes.
Your building. Yeah. So I saw you were talking there in Italian to the audience that was there.
Oh, yeah, you mean the stage. Oh, yeah.
What were you talking about with them?
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite topics.
What was it?
When I talk about my favorite topic, I can talk for hours. I'm sorry. You're going to cut. But I'm so happy.
Go for it.
So, yeah. Bitcoiners are weird people. They have weird passion. One passion of mine is studying polymathy during my free time. Polymathy is just like people. There are polymath people. They have multiple talents and they have both general skills and they are expert in many fields. Mm-hmm. So I was studying that. I have a project on Instagram only in Italian, only about this topic. And at some point I was like, oh my God, Bitcoin is just like a polymathic creature. Bitcoin is a complex dynamic system. And if you want to understand Bitcoin, you have to be a little bit polymath as a person because there are so many disciplines involved. To understand Bitcoin, you have to learn about cryptography, you have to learn about politics, you have to learn about economics and finance, and then everything that intersecting, technology, of course, and everything intersecting. So it's just like from marketing, psychology, law, e-commerce, whatever. You can go on forever. So the basic idea of my talk was if you don't get Bitcoin, the problem is not you, it's Bitcoin because it's super complex.
Yeah.
So, but it's also an occasion to become more polymath, more, I don't know how to say, more polymath as a person.
Mm-hmm.
and you can develop skills for yourself, for your knowledge. So it's an opportunity, an investment on your knowledge. And also, once again, for your curriculum, you can put those skills in your curriculum for the future. This is an insurance about your future because you are learning cryptography and probably you're not going to be an expert on cryptography, but you can have a rough understanding of that. And you can even do a course on that. And why not?
And then you can have an educated discussion with people.
Yes. So it's everybody is like, yeah, Bitcoin is of course an amazing investment for money, is an investment for even meeting amazing people for your job, but it's also a personal investment to me. Just like it forced me to study incredible things I never thought I would approach, just like cryptography. It's incredible. Or I never thought of myself as somebody who I didn't like economics so much, but that study, it's pretty interesting. It's so important. Why I wasn't so unaware of history of money. It never came to me that it's one of the most important things I should think about, right? And so, yes, the idea is that continue on studying on Bitcoin. It's tough, it's rough. The problem is that Bitcoin is complicated. You won't need it in the future to study Bitcoin so much, but we're in the phase where it's a giant opportunity for yourself to study Bitcoin and to study all the fields involved into Bitcoin. And so that was the idea of my talk. And people were just like, wow.
Yeah, it gives them a lot of space.
Yeah, they were like,
to like accept themselves and be okay with where they are. Yeah.
We all struggle, even the experts struggle because maybe they are expert in one field, but they have to learn about other things. And they were like also, many people are just like, I don't feel accepted by myself first and from society because I'm doing a job, but I want to do another job and another job. I want to do many different things. And am I broken? No, you're just human. We are curious. We want to do different things. And one amazing thing of Bitcoin is you don't feel guilty because you can do plenty of things at the same time, and it's okay. That's absolutely, it's the only thing you can do is just study everything to understand Bitcoin. It's an amazing occasion. So many people reach out me, feel it's like relieved. And that's for me, it's the most amazing thing, really.
Wow, that is awesome. Okay, wonderful. How do you see the future for Bitcoin in the next few years? You are talking about the fact that we are in a transition period. When we were talking, you mentioned that, and the fact that we're seeing a lot of the original cypherpunk ethos versus all the Wall Streets and the suits coming into the game, bringing a lot of big money into Bitcoin. We're just before a bull run. Like, how do you see that shaping up? What do you think that we're going to see in the next few years? As someone that has been in the space for 10 years, you've seen quite a bit already.
Yeah, it's difficult, very difficult to envision. For me right now, we are already so many people. Everything is talking about Bitcoin in comparison
for you,
to
huge, right?
Yeah, it's already so huge at the moment. So, of course, everything, it looks like that.
And all the conferences and the schools and the people getting jobs. It's like, what are you talking about? You're crazy.
And funny thing, those are things I have envisioned in my past. There is going to be one day where there's going to be Bitcoin businesses only. There are going to be meme marketers only for Bitcoin. And this is happening right now. So to me, it's just like,
well done, we're there.
Vision, but I have a strong vision for the next chapter.
Next phase.
But hopefully, I don't know, I see that the community is going to stay still strong as it is now. But of course, we are going to reach people from inside. It's going to be, hyper-Bitcoinization is going to happen. We don't know how and when, but in a way, it's inevitable. And hopefully, it's going to be a peaceful process. And I think so. I tend to be very optimistic. While we are improving the UX experience, the tools are going to be more usable. Maybe there are some pretty good actors and brands that are going to adopt Bitcoin. It's unpredictable. Maybe it's something developed from the community, or maybe it's developed, maybe it's just like Apple adopting some feature and everybody is using Bitcoin and the wallet in every smartphone.
Wow.
On Earth. I don't know what would happen. Of course, there is going to be a trigger. There's a sort of a black swan also for Bitcoin that is going to change everything. But everything we have done until that moment is going to explode, just like, I imagine something like that, because the tension right now is so, it's building
strong.
up.
It's
very strong. And then there's going to be, I see that an event.
kind of catharsis.
That moment, and it's going to surprise us. And I will be happy, but I will feel a sort of a resistance, just like, this is my thing between my friends. How is that popular to the world? So it's going to be good, because we want that everybody use these amazing tools. But at the same time, it's just like we are not a small community anymore. It's just like now we are just, normal kids again. But that's our goal. What I envision is that after some decades, I imagine my kids just using Bitcoin, and for them it's just super trivial. It's just like using, something on their phone to pay, and just like they don't ask questions. It's just like a normal thing. That's
just like the phones are normal to them today.
Just like, people are now using internet without asking questions about the protocol, without, if you start asking questions, it's pretty big what's behind the internet. Technologically speaking, and also the fact that everybody using the same protocol all over the world. There are rules and protocols over protocols. It's amazing, the history of the internet, but we don't care that much. It's working.
We take it for granted.
But at the same time, is another example. There's a problem there. Nobody addressed it normally, which is right now the apps, the stores.
Yes, centralized.
Those are centralized. So the internet is free.
Is it really? But you also have internet service providers that are also centralized in each state.
So the protocol is, but there's on top other things they are making. There are gateway. You want to, you want to, and especially it's a problem. Personally, I am very focused on the stores, because I think it's a giant problem. You get censored so easily, and so there are some solutions also in the space. They are trying to understand how to get rid of this, but that's a giant problem, and so. It's the same. I think for the future, Bitcoin is going to be trivial, but there is going to be many attempts to centralize it again, to make, to tame Bitcoin and to make it, tolerable for
the mainstream.
But yes, of course, we are going to pass also from the corporate world, Wall Street, and everybody using this, and this is inevitable too. And in a way, I don't judge. It's a neutral phase. And let's see what happens.
It is what it is.
It is. If people want Bitcoin centralized, using for themselves in a custodial way, is their choice. But of course, they want to put their wills against Bitcoin. That's another matter. Of course, this personal choice, and that's choice that can going to impact more the ecosystem and everything. Stopping Bitcoin. It's completely different.
So for you, there is an importance in keeping the original ethos of self-custody, non-KYC.
I will try to educate people. So the other day, I was with the parents of the school of my kid. And then just after 2 years, we were all together at the same school. They discovered we are Bitcoiners, and they were interested, and they were asking questions, and of course they were like, I have some Bitcoin on some exchange, whatever, and I was trying to tell them, yes, but you don't own your Bitcoin. It was very tough, and I'm not going to stop telling them, you don't know those, you want to keep them off, you want to have your wallet and self-custody and everything. We're not going to stop doing that. Is it better to not have Bitcoin, or to have a centralized custodial Bitcoin? It's a tough question. Probably, I don't
if
know.
we have to say better or not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, let's have everything. Let's make sure that none of these options
Yes.
disappear, right?
Yeah, probably, or make people aware of what they are doing.
Exactly.
If they know
They
it's,
can choose.
yeah, it's only $100, they want to play trading, who cares?
Fine. Yeah,
But
Lightning wallet, non-custodial,
yeah,
no problem.
it's okay. But if they are putting the saving of their life there on some exchange, doing tradings with shitcoins, we met so many people being scammed during those years. And also, I mean, an exchange could have problem. A bank is better. A bank has more protection. Sorry, an exchange is one of the worst situation you can have, and people should be aware.
Yeah.
You don't feel safe on exchange. Absolutely, those are their money. They are owing your money for yourself, and you're doing that. If you're not aware, that's a problem.
Yeah.
But if you're aware, you want to keep them there. You're not going to comply with me then because I told you so. After, sorry, I told you so. I have created a list with all the resources, and now there is also the list is in Italian. There's Plan B network resources. I share the link with you. So please, at least, don't complain with me. Cry there. No, I'm going to show some empathy because it's a disaster. But yes.
Super cool. Okay. What are some things you want to share with my audience? It could be like related to Bitcoin, could be just like words of wisdom you prepared for this conference that you want to share with people.
Interesting. So this morning I had a beautiful podcast interview with Susanna Tusca and Roxy. We were discussing about education and how to educate the educators. And so it was really interesting how much, I mean, it's difficult, but it's beautiful to find a balance between giving the students the right tools, not being scammed, privacy, self-custody topic, but at the same time, don't scare them away. And it's tough. And you want to understand your students who are you educating. So the importance also of skills you don't usually consider, and especially in this space are rare words, just like empathy and communication.
Yes.
And, start from the entry point of that person, really listening to the person and trying to address them and find the best way to give the content. And at the same time, also, I think it's important not to have, do not want the results in that you are orange peeling, you are educating, and the results are probably going to come back if after years and if they want. So we are trying to educate, want to do our part, and we want to learn again and again, but we shouldn't care that much about the results. It's tough. There are no KPIs in that.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just like you're doing that because you love that, because you believe in that, but it's hard. It's really, really hard. You do that and you just like living.
You release it to the world.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You release it to the world, and whatever happens, if at some point somebody, is going to be interested and is going to come back. But I think the best way is really to listen to the other person. And I think, for example, Dusan has this beautiful workshop about how to communicate properly. I don't know if you have the occasion to go there. I totally recommend to any educators, but to any human being, actually. And the idea is that before argumenting...
But say again what you recommend them.
Is a workshop by Dusan Matuska about communication, and
they can find it online?
Oh, it was, no, usually doing real...
talk, okay.
Yeah, it's a talk. It was here at Lugano again. The idea is that we always start by argumentation. But of course, we're a human being. If you start by argumenting Bitcoin, for example, the other people have pre-existing concept, they have their worries, they have everything. So this is going to be just like a wall and a wall, right? What you want to do is the first, I don't know if I'm going to spoiler it.
No.
There are other two steps you want to do before argumentation part. And we are good as Bitcoiner in argumentation. we know all the topics, misunderstanding, whatever. You want to focus on the first two parts. First one is just paraphrasing and try to understand if we understood correctly their question or everything.
Okay.
So it's just like
reiterating.
yes,
their
I understood correctly that you are asking me this or you're
or
telling
concerned
me.
about that.
Yes. So you are listening and asking that properly. And this is so fascinating. I mean, it's very, very hard, right? And then you find a connection with the other person, trying to, it's just about listening properly and then connecting, find the common ground. And then when there's no emotion, bad emotion between us, when we are on the same page, then we can start with the argumentation. And then you can start again educating, and then we can have that part too. So it's really important, because even if we feel that we are robots because we are into technology or whatever, we're still human beings and we tend to react. We put a wall because we don't want to change a belief. We put a wall because it's the wrong day or whatever. But if you feel the educator is really listening to you, he really wants to understand, and that you are not stupid for asking that question, but we are both on the same page, it's going to work like magic from that moment on. And that it's useful also for private conversation at home with the husband and wife, with your parents, with friends or whatever. So those are skills that are very, very important to develop. If, for example, I am just like very quick at assuming what others are thinking, and for me, it's tough to stop and asking, am I understood correctly? Well, I'm good. I find it a common ground, or being grateful for them to sharing stuff with me. And so I was good at point 2, and then coming to the 3. I wasn't that good before that at the first point, because I was assuming I'm fast and thinking fast, but too fast. And that really made me think how much work I have to do in that, listening and asking again.
So I want to talk to exactly what you said right now, which is perfect. And thank you so much for sharing this. From my vast experience in communications in life, the things that you are describing here are essential in 2 things. One is to lower resistance. When someone is talking to you and you don't want to create an argument, you don't want to confront them, you actually want to have a fruitful conversation, that you don't leave the room hating each other or annoyed or upset.
Exactly.
So the first thing that you said about listening and then reiterating, that lowers the resistance. And the second thing that it does is it creates a background of relatedness. You are creating something shared between the 2 people, even before you even started answering or before you even started engaging in the conversation. You have created some background for both of you to come together from the same place. And when you enter a conversation with someone from a background of relatedness, there is some kind of relatedness between the 2 people, the whole conversation will look differently. So I highly encourage people to follow you, Dushan, what you were talking about, but also you can go to just a live example, because you made me think as you were talking. Go to my last episode with Mike Benz on my podcast. He was asking me, we did it in Nashville. So I was interviewing him, and he doesn't know Bitcoin very well, but he's an expert on 100 other things. And then towards the end of the conversation, we started talking about Bitcoin, because we're in a Bitcoin conference, and I'm asking him, what do you do here? And what are you going to talk about? And then he tells me, maybe you can educate me. I think that Bitcoin is heavily influenced by Tether and the liquidity of Tether into the market, and and Bitcoin is relying on Tether. And if we take Tether away, then Bitcoin goes away, stuff like that. So I listened to him, and I was like, shit, I can't believe he's putting me in this situation. But then I said, okay, so hold on, let me get that straight. what you're saying is, and I tried to like
Paraphrase it.
right? I did
Oh,
that.
it's too tough for me. Yeah.
I did that. And he said, yeah, more or less that. And then I gave him my knowledge, which is not huge, but what I knew. I talked for like 3-4 minutes about what I know about the scarce supply of Bitcoin and the fact that it's not reliant on any other things, and a little bit about mining, etc., and the halving, etc. And he was like, he was listening. And by the end of the 4 minutes, he was like, okay, thank you. Maybe I should do some more research about it. And I made a clip out of that because, we weren't upset at each other. He really doesn't know. He thinks the wrong things about Bitcoin. I may have not given him the whole thing. And I did say that I'm not the expert and maybe other people can talk more about liquidity, which is what he was caring about. But at least, he left this engagement, this conversation with something positive. And now maybe he won't be so resisting to look more into it or learn more or go to other people that can educate him further. You know what I mean? So,
absolutely.
And that makes such a difference.
But I was thinking as a marketer, I mean, right now there are plenty of people are giving marketing advice. It's better if you get engagement in any possible way. You should have, attention farming with polarized and arguments between people, and you're going on the opposite. And I know it's not great for engagement, but I think it's amazing personally. And as an educator, it's the only way. I don't see, arguing about what?
Listen, people have a bad reputation for marketing because they think marketing is advertising, and also that marketing has to create engagement, and engagement can only be created by polarizing. And no, engagement can be created by coming together, by finding the relatedness, by doing what you're doing, by educating people, by embracing people, by bringing the empathy, by bringing the listening, all the stuff that you've been saying here in the last half an hour. Great marketing is that. It's not creating some battle so people get, okay, let's bring popcorn and watch people fight. No, we can actually be engaged in some fruitful conversation. We can actually learn something new. We can actually enjoy by not just dopamine levels going up, but actually serotonin levels going up. Love, right? Energy.
But I feel it's what I was
I'm here like protecting
before.
marketing because that's what I did in 20 years. But that's the kind of marketing I advocate for.
Absolutely. There could be ethical marketing, and it could be just neutral marketing.
What is marketing? Marketing, you answer someone's needs, not by selling them something, but by providing value.
Yeah.
Maybe the value you will provide is them actually buying something. That's fine. That's fine. But as long as they got value out of it. So that's marketing is all about value.
Yeah, absolutely. And I studied communication, and plenty of people are just like, just like marketing. No, I'm not a marketer. I'm good at communication. It's something, they are very close. There are intersections, but it's not the same thing, I don't have the skill. I have developed some marketing skills, but it's something different.
You're actually a very good marketeer. You should know that.
From you, I will take the compliment. But I feel that just like communication is something different in my perspective, and also for many regards. But I know that communication is more like neutral, while marketing has this bad reputation.
Because bad people created bad reputation for marketing because they started looking at people as consumers rather than forgetting that they are humans, right? So when everyone is a consumer for you and all you want to do is sell, fiat, growth for the sake of growth instead of growth for the sake of value, then marketing gets a bad reputation. And it makes sense. It's fine. But it doesn't have to be that way.
Absolutely. I completely agree. And personally, I learned that during the years, I had a bad perception of marketing too. But last thing I want to say, just like how difficult is this balance between, we have polarized and very strong opinion as Bitcoiners. I know. And especially this come from, I've seen people being scammed or losing money and their saving and losing their jobs or whatever. I have seen many bad situations during the year. So we want to be straightforward. on some good
Honest, yeah.
and being honest. But I think there is a way to be honest and at the same time empathetic. And this is why I'm talking about this so much nowadays, because I think that it's even more empathetic to protect, or not to protect, that would be patronizing people, but to help them to understand how important is self-custody and your privacy and other topics. So there is a balance between those. People are just like, you are always very nice in person. Yes, but I'm always telling the truth, what I think. And I'm not going to tell you that it's a good idea if you're doing something that is against, something against yourself, especially with Bitcoin, because we're talking about Bitcoin, not other things. So it's important to stay there. And it's even more empathetic to be, in a way, a Bitcoin maximalist had this definition. It's just, for me, Bitcoin maximalism is minimalism. It's just like focusing on only one thing. And just like, I don't care about the rest. And the rest is not that important. And I could also protect myself from scams, project, token, whatever. I focus on that. There's enough material for a lifetime only to take Bitcoin in account. So, but there, focus there on the best OPSEC practices and how to save yourself and your saving for your future. It's really important, and it's being even more empathetic in a way than, being nice. It's not about being nice.
No.
It's completely the opposite. So I know plenty of Bitcoiners would be, you should be really toxic. And I love the idea of being toxic. It's just like a meme. But in the end, you want to be a kind, empathetic person and straightforward to the point.
Amen. Beautifully said. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Word of wisdom. This is.
We could go on for hours.
Exactly.
My favorite topics on earth.
Exactly. And, just have us talking about being empathetic and communications and how to get things done. This is perfect. So I encourage my audience to come and follow you and follow Plan B as well.
Go check out the site.
For sure. And thank you so much for your help, for hosting me here.
Thank you.
I know this is not your event, but you have helped me a lot.
This is my town now.
This is your town. So I feel like you're a guest, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We can go on forever.